Yo, what's going on everyone? My name is Sigsang, and today I'm going to be doing a review on Super Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey was one of the first big releases on the Nintendo Switch, and it received major critical acclaim. It also ranks as one of the top-selling Switch games to this day. But what makes this game so great? Is it just another run-of-the-mill Mario game? Or is it truly one of the best Nintendo games of all time? Well, by the title of the video, you can guess which side I lean towards. Super Mario Odyssey was officially released in October 2017 exclusively on the Switch and was highly anticipated. This is the first mainline 3D Mario game to come out since Galaxy 2 on the Wii. And yeah, there were games released in between like Super Mario 3D World and Super Mario Maker, but in my mind, I don't categorize those with games like Odyssey, Galaxy, and Sunshine. 2017 was the launch year of the Switch, and I remember getting one wasn't easy. I didn't get mine until July of that year, but there was already a plethora of games to choose from. I played games like Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2, and I was having a blast with my Switch. Towards the end of the year, I was getting close to graduating from university and was going to move soon, so it was a pretty busy time during my life. I don't think I played Odyssey until the beginning of 2018, but this game immediately had an impact on me. Growing up, Super Mario Sunshine was one of my favorite games. I know it's not the most popular 3D Mario game, and some people have their gripes with it, but it's one of the main games I played on the GameCube, which was my first home console. Also, Sunshine was one of the first games I reviewed on this channel. I'll admit it's not my best video, but it encapsulates my feelings on that game. So what does this tangent have to do with Odyssey? Well, playing through Odyssey reminded me a lot of Sunshine and brought back a lot of good memories. It was a bit of a nostalgia trip for me, but I was able to create new memories as well. Now that I've given you a bit of my backstory with it, let's dive deeper into what makes Super Mario Odyssey my favorite Mario game. Although Mario games don't usually have an intricate story, just want to point out that there will be spoilers in this video. As usual, the story kicks off with Bowser kidnapping Princess Peach. This time, Bowser is taking her so that they can get married. Mario tries his best to stop him, but ends up getting kicked off of Bowser's ship and loses his iconic hat in the process. He ends up landing in the Cap Kingdom where he meets a character named Cappy. Cappy tells Mario that his sister Tiara was also kidnapped by Bowser and suggests that the two team up to stop him. Mario agrees and Cappy officially joins Mario on his journey. Cappy takes the form of your hat and becomes a companion kinda like Flood in Super Mario Sunshine. You can throw him around in many different ways, but the main gimmick with Cappy is that you can use him to take over different enemies and objects. This ability is crucial to completing certain objectives and makes the gameplay very unique compared to other entries in the series. After progressing through the first couple of kingdoms, you eventually get access to the Odyssey, an airship that you and Cappy will use to traverse different kingdoms in the game. The Odyssey is fueled by Power Moons, the main collectibles in the game, similar to Power Stars and Shine Sprites. As you travel between kingdoms, Mario and Cappy get closer and closer to catching Bowser, but this game is very much about the journey, not the destination. Each kingdom in Super Mario Odyssey is very unique. Throughout the story, there are main objectives you need to complete in order to progress, but everything that happens in between is up to you. These kingdoms aren't linear and allow the player to explore the areas in great detail, and straying from the main objective is actually encouraged. This is how you'll collect the majority of the Power Moons in the game. Power Moons can be found by completing overworld puzzles, entering side levels, ground pounding suspicious areas, etc. You'll be constantly surprised with the methods of attaining these Power Moons, and to me, this is one of the most enjoyable parts of the game. Obtaining these Power Moons doesn't take particularly long, but once you find one, you'll soon find yourself on a hunting spree for more. The collectathon doesn't stop there though. There are of course your regular gold coins, but there are also purple coins that can be used to redeem outfits as well as accessories for the Odyssey. Purple coins are hidden throughout each kingdom and are kingdom specific, meaning purple coins from one kingdom cannot be used in a different one. I think I spent as much time searching for these as I did for Power Moons, because dripping out Mario in the ship was definitely one of my main priorities. Mario himself controls awesome in this game in my opinion. 3D Mario games are known to give Mario an abundant acrobatic skill set, and I'm happy to say this is present in Odyssey as well. Doing crazy stunts to complete levels and objectives is super satisfying, and although I'm not a Mario parkour expert, I appreciate the way Mario handles in this game. This gameplay is complemented so much by what Cappy brings to the table, and this contributes to why I enjoy this game as much as I do. I brought it up earlier, but one of the coolest things Cappy can do is take over enemies and objects. This means you get to control them and gain unique abilities. Anything from the T-Rex to the Bullet Bills is controllable, and as you play more of the game, new enemies and objects are introduced, so there's always something new to learn with this gameplay mechanic. And that's just the main aspect of Cappy. I haven't even brought up how useful Cappy is on his own. You can throw him in a circle around you, use him to collect coins, and even use him as a platform to jump on. These features remind me a lot of the utility that FLUDD provided in Super Mario Sunshine. They both are very different in what they do, but I think Cappy offers even more versatility than FLUDD, and makes the experience of playing as Mario even more enjoyable. The kingdoms themselves are a blast to explore. The first couple kingdoms I think of as practice stages to get you used to playing as Mario and Cappy, but once you get to the Sand Kingdom, you'll be able to see what these kingdoms really have to offer. None of them are huge open worlds, but there's plenty of stuff to do, and I love the unique styles they have. My favorite of the kingdoms has to be the Metro Kingdom, which is an homage to New York City. Scaling buildings and hanging out with Pauline are some of the main highlights to me, but I could talk on and on about things I like from each kingdom. From the Day of the Dead references in the Sand Kingdom to the polarizing atmosphere of the Ruined Kingdom, each kingdom feels special in their own way. Next up, let's talk about the boss battles in this game. Most of the time, you'll be going up against the Brutals, a group of rabbits that are helping Bowser with his wedding plans. They have stolen items from each kingdom that are to be used for the wedding. Everything from the food to the actual wedding dress was most likely acquired by one of these rabbits. Note that this is the first time this group of villains makes an appearance in the Mario series, and although I don't care much for their designs, the boss battles are fun and Cappy is integral to taking them down. Almost all the Brutals use their hats to fight you, and how you beat them is by parrying their hats with Cappy. Once you catch them off guard, you can bounce on their head to deal damage. You'll encounter the Brutals multiple times, and each time they get smarter and stronger, but never too difficult to overcome. There are other bosses you'll encounter, but one that I want to talk about specifically is the Lord of Lightning. This takes place in the Ruined Kingdom, and honestly, it feels really out of place in Odyssey, but is so badass that I can look past that. Fighting a dragon as Mario was jarring and fun at the same time, and was not something I was expecting the first time I played through this game. And revisiting it with this playthrough, it still was just as cool to me. After getting through the Ruined Kingdom, you would think Bowser's Kingdom would be the final stop, but that isn't the case. Once you reach Bowser, he pieces out and announces the wedding will take place on the moon. Like, how baller is that? Imagine having the resources to have a wedding on the moon. Anyways, Mario and Cappy eventually catch up to Bowser and crash the wedding. You have a final showdown with Bowser, and finally, Princess Peach is safe. Well, until the area you were battling Bowser in starts to fall apart. This scene is followed by one of the coolest sequences in the game. In order to progress, you take over Bowser as Cappy and bulldoze your way to an escape. There's a strong sense of urgency as everything is falling apart around you, but it's also just a fun time blowing through everything as Bowser. Once the group returns back to the moon, Peach gets fed up with both Mario and Bowser and almost leaves them behind. Luckily, Mario is able to board the Odyssey before the group departs and kicks Bowser away one last time. After the credits roll, you wake up in the Mushroom Kingdom, a new area of the game that includes Peach's castle, a nice reference to Super Mario 64. New features and challenges become available after beating the game, and you're pretty much free to explore all the kingdoms at this point. Although I personally spent most of my time in the post-game driving around the Mushroom Kingdom with a moped. Overall, I think Super Mario Odyssey is a beautiful looking game. I'm someone that appreciates a game with good graphics, and even though the Switch has its limitations, I never get tired of the scenery in this game. Everything is so colorful and lively, it always puts a smile on my face. This is also complemented by the great soundtrack to the game. Every kingdom has unique background music, and it really ties the experience together. And my favorite moment in all of Super Mario Odyssey is when you complete the main objective in the Metro Kingdom. Pauline decides to throw a celebratory festival on the rooftops of the city while the main theme song of the game is played. As you make your way to the performance, you play as classic Mario in 2D, which is a common occurrence in this game, but I feel is really impactful in this moment. I love the song Jump Up Superstar, so having it integrated in the finale of the Metro Kingdom was such an awesome moment and is something I always look forward to when playing Odyssey. Even after playing Super Mario Odyssey multiple times, I've kept Super Mario Sunshine above it on my list of favorite games of all time, but after this playthrough, I had a change of heart. A lot of my favorite games have nostalgia tied to them, and I don't necessarily fault people for having the same mentality. However, I think I realized that this game excels in more areas to me than Sunshine does. For one, I find myself having a lot more fun with it. Sunshine can sometimes be nuanced and frustrating in situations and takes you, the player, out of control. For reference, think at the pachinko level. The controls can be slippery and have Mario falling even if you executed your moves properly. With Odyssey, I feel like Mario's controls are a lot more refined, and I hardly ever found myself blaming the game for mistakes. I think Odyssey is just overall a more chill experience, which fits my playstyle a lot more. I'm not as much of a tryhard with video games as I used to be, and I honestly would go as far as to say that I'm a casual gamer. I hardly ever choose higher difficulty in games, and I play video games these days mostly for leisure, not to get stressed out. I also really like the fact that you can beat this game in just a few hours. I do enjoy JRPGs, don't get me wrong, but when a game can be completed in less than 20 hours, it honestly sounds right up my alley. So, with all these things considered, this is why I say Super Mario Odyssey is my favorite Mario game. I do like playing the classic 2D Mario games every now and then, but my journey with the series started with Sunshine. And now as an adult, I'm happy that 3D Mario games are still being released and are better than ever. I look forward to what Nintendo has lined up next for the series, but I have a feeling it's gonna be a while till we see it. Super Mario Odyssey is a game that I would recommend to anyone. Whether you're a kid or an adult, I'm almost certain you'd have fun with it. Pretty much all modern 3D Mario games are great, and I have yet to play one that disappoints me. Sure, if you're not a fan of platformers, these games may not be for you. However, I would argue that this is a great gateway to new players of the series. It's a relatively easy game, and once you get the hang of it, you'll learn that this game has a lot to offer. At this point, I'm not sure if another mainline 3D Mario game will come out on the Switch. The console has been out for over 6 years now at the time of making this video, and there haven't been any notable rumors about a game in the works. Personally, I'm okay with waiting for one releasing on the next Nintendo console, even though we don't know when that'll release either. We're really in the dark on what could be next for the series, but like I said, I'm alright with that, and don't mind a good surprise. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this one. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite Mario game, whether it's 2D, 3D, or even a spin-off of the series. This franchise has given us many great games over the years, and there's a ton to choose from. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I do a variety of video game content here on my channel, including game reviews like this one. And if you're interested, you can follow me on social media on Twitter and Instagram @sixsing for updates and funny posts. Thank you so much for watching, hope you tune into the next one, and have a great rest of your day. Peace!